Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/Homeownership Fair.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/Homeownership Fair.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/Homeownership Fair.
Programming for the HREBA Show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA Show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On Fishbowl Radio Network.
For the HREBA Show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hello, you're listening to the HREBA Show, Homeownership. Hear it from the experts in the Blue Stream of the Fishbowl Radio Network. My name is Leticia Gallegos. I'm president and CEO of the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association. Co-hosting with me today is Salvia Lobos.
Salvador Villalobos.
Salvador Villalobos.
All right. Hello.
And we have a special guest today, very special guest, Sergio Erazo with the City of Arlington Code Compliance. He's the Senior Code Compliance Officer for the City of Arlington. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. And we have some great information for you today. If you live in the boundaries of the City of Arlington, we have a lot of great information. So stay tuned. We're going to be talking everything about code compliance, whether you're renting or whether you own your home. When you're renting, you have rights. When you're owning your home, you have responsibilities. And so this guy, Sergio, his responsibility is to keep you compliant. And so there's some huge numbers that Sergio shared with us, and I want him to share them with you right now. In a fiscal year in the City of Arlington, and 1 year in the City of Arlington, we've got some huge numbers to share with you. It's called Data in Action, right?
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to code compliance. So tell us about those numbers.
Yes,
Sergio.
in 2018, we had over 80,000 calls that we acted upon. We took 80,000 calls, whether we found violations or not. That was 80,000 of those calls. Out of 80,000, we take 80,000 calls out. So over 13,000 of those calls, we didn't find a violation. It could be that the violation was corrected prior to us receiving the call, actually taking action on the call, or the complainant wasn't as informed as what is a violation or what isn't. High grass to you may mean 6 inches. That may be a little too high for your liking, but our ordinance states that it has to be over 12 inches, or there may be a car in the neighborhood that doesn't fit the criteria for a nuisance vehicle, but you believe it's a nuisance vehicle. But
Okay, so the 80,000 were complaints.
80,000 were
complaint
complaints
calls?
Complaint calls or stuff that we proactively did.
Oh, okay.
It could be proactive.
That's a huge number.
Yes.
So somebody didn't cut the edging of their home.
Edging could be considered as a nuisance landscape. We have to be able to prove in court that it's actually causing a safety hazard. Everything that we do is causing either safety or health to the community. So edging is not necessarily required. We're more concerned about the height. Now, if the edging does go across from sidewalk to sidewalk where it's obstructing the sidewalk, you can't see the curb at night, then yeah, we can go ahead and consider that a nuisance landscape. but most of the time we just consider with the height of the grass and weeds.
And that's just one of the issues, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the next number on your list.
That's going to be what we call bandit signs. Bandit signs can be just any signs that are placed on the medians, post. I know we see a lot of the signs such as we buy houses. I know you're a realtor, so you know the investors like to put those out.
Yeah, the illegal signs
those,
that say for cash and all that.
Yeah, cash for home, cash for cars.
How about garage
sales? Yes, those are considered. There's on our website you can find a link on where you're supposed to put your garage sale signs. They're not supposed to be on the visibility triangle. Basically, you're supposed to be able to place them where the driver can safely see your sign and not be distracted by the sign.
Okay.
And you have over 20,000 of those a year.
Yes, over 20,000 that we picked up in 2018. If I'm at an intersection and I can safely get out of my vehicle, I'll get out and pick up the sign while I'm waiting on a red light. We have a gentleman that strictly dedicates his time for graffiti and those type of signs. So yeah, over a year we go ahead and collected over 20,000 signs.
Wow.
And you do this pretty fast, right? So the average number of days that it takes for you guys to respond at the city is about 1.5 days?
Yes, ma'am, and we're actually pretty proud about that number. Yeah. So it takes a day for us to take a day and a half to take action up once we receive a complaint, whether we receive it or the action center. It takes us about a day and a half for us to take some type of action, whether we find a violation or not.
So how many so it's 1.5 days, so how many in a day? How many complaints are you investigating in one day?
It all depends on the district.
Okay.
It depends on the district.
What's an average?
I was averaging last year in the South District about anywhere between 25 to 35 inspections a day.
A day?
A day.
Wow.
Yes.
That's a lot.
I used to do inspections in the North District, and it wasn't as many. I think it has to do with the social economics of the neighborhoods.
Okay.
So it just depends where you're at on which side of town.
Okay.
But right now, as a South District inspector, I was averaging between 25 to 35 a day.
Wow.
Okay, so you as listeners, you're listening to this information about code compliance. Later on, we're going to talk about an app that you can download, and it's great tools. So stay tuned for that. The next number we have here, what does voluntary compliance mean?
So voluntary compliance basically means we go out to a property, we receive a complaint, or we proactively leave a notice of violation for whatever reason it may be. We leave a notice, and then, of course, there's actions to be taken after we leave the notice. Voluntary compliance means that the property owner brought their property into compliance without us having to issue any tickets, any citations, or having us clean up the property or abate the violation.
Okay, so the homeowner did it themselves and they complied with your requests.
That's correct.
Okay, perfect. And so the next number there is, what does it say, 89%? 89%
of the calls that were... So basically, we receive calls within a month. We close those calls out. 89% of those calls get closed out within a month.
Within a month. That's great.
So that means that we found a violation, and the violation was corrected at the end of the month. So 89% of those calls were corrected.
Wow, that's a great number. Yeah,
and this rapid reaction to those complaints just makes it a better city. Right?
Yes.
Everybody's happy. From the mayor on down is happy with.
I mean, as a homeowner, it protects your home value. Home values are skyrocketing.
Yes.
Tax rates are going up. I mean, if you're going to be paying your hard-earned money, you want to be proud of your neighborhood.
Exactly.
And I think co-compliance is a great tool to help you maintain the aesthetics of your neighborhood.
Yes. And residents of Arlington are very proud, I'm sure. So, over 13,000 that you say that there was no really violation.
Correct.
Out of the 80,000.
Out of
Over the 80,000.
Correct. So 13,000 of those calls, we go out and investigate, and we don't find a violation. Like I stated earlier, it just may be that it got corrected prior to us getting there, or it just doesn't meet the criteria of a violation.
Okay. All right. And then the last number we have here is over 2,000. And it's abatements
Yes.
of code violations conducted.
Yes, abatement means that the city actually came out and corrected the violation. Of course, this is going to be at the property owner's expense.
Wow, to me that's surprising. That is a good number, because out of over 80,000, only pretty much 2,000 of them really get a hard hit on, because there could be a lien attached.
Yes, a lien gets attached. If you get billed out for the abatement, if the bill is 30 to 60 days overdue, then a lien gets placed on the property, and eventually the fee's going to get paid whenever the property gets sold. Also, I believe that lien has interest rate, so it grows over the years. So I want to say a quarter of those numbers is actually mowing. We have an abatement team that dedicates their time for high weeds and grass, mowing vacant lots, houses that have weeds and grass that property owners are not mowing. So that's a quarter of those numbers come from the weeds and grass team.
Well, some great information, Sergio. Thank you so much for those numbers. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to tell you about that app that you can download on your cell phone, and it's some great tools, and we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. Stay tuned.
Fantastic.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/Homeownership Fair.
Programming for the HREBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el East.
Programming for the REBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hello, you're listening to the REBA show, Homeownership. Hear it from the experts in the blue stream of the Fishbowl Radio Network. My name is Leticia Gallegos. I'm the president and CEO of the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association. Co-hosting with me today is
Salvador Villalobos.
And our special guest today is
Sergio Erazo.
Yes, Sergio is Senior Code Compliance Officer for the City of Arlington. He's been with the city since 2011, and he's held many different positions in the city, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's very knowledgeable. So we asked him to be here today to share his knowledge with you, residents of the City of Arlington, so you can feel more confident about what your responsibilities are and what your rights are. So stay tuned.
And even
Now,
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Even if you're not a resident of Arlington, there's some great information that's being shared that you may take that back and talk to your compliance officers in your towns.
Very good. True. All right. So before we went on break, we talked about an app for on your phone that's called Ask Arlington.
Yes.
Okay. So tell us about it, Sergio.
This app was launched in 2017 to make it easier on citizens to either file complaints. They can even compliment some of the city employees through the app if they see that the employee went the extra mile to accomplish something. You
like
can
picking up limbs for the elderly?
You can report that on there as well.
Awesome.
Yes, you can do, it's not only code compliance, you can report animal-related calls, police-related, non-emergency police-related calls, such as vehicles being parked on the street that have been abandoned, parking violations. Such of those things can be reported through the app.
How many days would you say it's an abandoned vehicle parked outside of it?
I believe the police department has it at 24 hours.
24
After 24
hours.
hours, they come in and tag it. But
Okay.
it's a great question. We don't address the code compliance doesn't address abandoned vehicles on the street.
All right. So call your police department.
Call the police department.
Or use the app.
Or use the app and report it as an abandoned vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
You can report street lights that are burnt out through the app, potholes, and that all gets directed to the correct department. You don't have to wait on the phone and wait for a action center agent to answer the phone and try to help you in that way. But yes, you can download the Ask Arlington app through a smartphone. It's compatible with Apple and Android.
Oh, great.
And also, if you take a picture of what you're seeing, you can actually upload the picture through the app. You can create a profile, and you can actually follow the actions that are being taken based on the concern that you have submitted through the app. So you'll get email updates. For example, if something's submitted to code compliance, you can see if we left a notice of violation, or if we said that there was no violation at the time we took at the time we inspected the property.
Does the app also have what is a code violation and maybe one of its
It has a brief, yes, sir. It has a brief description of what you're reporting. For example, if you're reporting a nuisance vehicle, it will give you a brief description of what a nuisance vehicle is. Parking in the yard, of course. Yeah, so it does give you a brief description of that.
What about a nuisance neighbor? No, I'm just kidding.
that doesn't get reported through the app.
Okay.
Call 911. No. No, we call the police on that one, I think. Okay, so it's a great app. I downloaded it myself to my cell phone, and it's very user friendly. And it actually has on the app where you can take the picture. You don't have to go to your camera. You just press on the app icon there, and it has that camera. So it's great that the updates that you get off of
Yes.
the complaint, which is good. So if you're again, if you're in the city of Arlington, download that app and be more in contact and communication with your city, because they are going the extra mile to try to give you all the tools that you need to be safe.
Yes.
Right? That's the main objective, is safety.
Yes.
Even when you're talking about mowing a lawn, right? It's because of safety.
That's correct. Yeah, I mean, especially with this Texas heat,
Yeah.
anything could catch fire pretty quick. Rodents like to nest in high grass, such as snakes and mice and rats. So not a lot of people are scared of those kind of animals. Also, the app, I would suggest residents that live in apartments, they can go ahead and use the app as well. It's for everyone.
Why would a resident need to use it?
I mean, they can the app, you can go ahead and report different violations that are
Okay.
inside their apartment.
Okay.
If they don't want to go ahead and call it in, they can go ahead and use the app. You can do insect infestation. They're dealing with an
great.
insect infestation in their apartment, water
And it's
leaks.
anonymous. The landlord's not going to find out that.
You can try to remain anonymous, but if you're wanting to
If something's in inside your
apartment,
apartment,
right,
they're
right,
going to know
right,
who it is, right?
but you can remain anonymous. But like she said, I mean, the landlord can put two and two together.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, if it's just something general.
Like on
Yeah,
the exterior.
Correct.
Exterior.
Well, even not only just apartment complaints, even if you're a neighbor wanting to remain anonymous, and you do give us your information, that we don't release that information. They would have to go through a open record request, and even then, the Texas Attorney General has to release that information. They have to okay it.
Okay. Oh, that's good that you're protecting the residents. So now they feel more confident that they can do.
Yes, you can call it in.
And have a voice. Right.
We
That's
don't go out
fantastic.
there and tell you know the person in violation. Oh, so and so called in regards to this. No, we try
that's
to.
usually what happens. They're afraid to call it in.
Correct.
So that's
No.
great.
Yeah.
That's fantastic
No,
that
we-
you're doing
we
that.
try to protect the complainant.
Good.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
a great point, Sal. That's a great point. Okay, so the app is great. Download it. If you have any questions, you can contact the City of Arlington Code Compliance and get more information about that. So, Sergio, in 2015, the city launched what's called the Arlington Property Renewal Program. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yes, the Arlington Renewal Program was launched, like you said, 2015. I believe it actually started in 2014. It's a program that helps people of low income, people that have violations present at their property that are not able to afford to correct the violation. We've helped people with their AC units in the past, painting, hazardous wiring, plumbing, those kind of violations. And they have to actually meet the federal poverty guidelines in order for them to qualify for this program. This program is actually funded through civil citations that code enforcement has issued to other defendants. I believe $25 of that fee comes out of that fine into this program. It gets put into a pool.
That's great. That's you're really going the bigger step.
So we're putting money back into our city,
Right.
helping especially people that are not able to afford to correct the property. So since 2014, we've actually helped 6 families correct violations and bring their property up into compliance. And the good thing about this is that it motivates other neighbors to go ahead and, oh, you know, so-and-so is painting their house. I think it's time for us to paint ours.
Right.
Yes.
They fixed their fence. Let's fix ours. Like, it motivates the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Basically, people start taking pride into their neighborhood.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
it's a domino effect on revitalization.
Yes.
Like, let's revitalize this neighborhood. Yeah. And so since the program started, Arlington has invested nearly $65,000 in cleanup and repairs like this.
That's correct.
That's a huge chunk of money, and so that's to strengthen the neighborhoods, like we said, across the American Dream City. That's what Arlington
Yes,
is.
and even then, if you don't qualify for the program, I would suggest if you're having a hardship, contact your code officer. Talk to them about maybe trying to receive some help. We do have volunteer groups that reach out to our department that they're looking for properties to help bring into compliance. Some of this work is light work. Obviously, they're not going to have $65,000 to invest in neighborhoods, but as far as cleanups, minor painting,
Cutting lawns.
Yeah, we've had it all.
Right.
Trimming trees, shrubs.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, and what's the age group? Say they're not a part of an organization, but they want to volunteer.
Yeah, most of the time we actually haven't had just an individual
Right.
volunteer. I know we've had companies in the past
Right.
that have reached out to us that they're wanting to volunteer their time. Maybe they had extra material and they reach out to us. They reach out to the department to see if there's anything they can help with.
Right.
UTA does the MLK Day. They do a cleanup every Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, great.
We send them a list of properties that they can go out and reach out to. They're a big help. Churches, they reach out to us as well.
Fantastic.
Okay. Before we take another break, let's talk about the what it takes to be eligible to receive this property renewal program.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to be an Arlington residential property owner, right?
Correct.
And you have to have been found to be in violation
Yes.
by the city.
Correct.
By a code compliance officer like yourself. And then you have to be financially unable yourself to rehabilitate or repair the property, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you have to file an application.
Yes.
So the city knows that you're applying for this rehab, these funds. And the purpose. You want to know, the city wants to know why you're, or what you're going to be doing, or what you're asking for.
Correct.
And you can only do it once every 60 months.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Question. So, tuck pointing, scrape, lead paint, is that some of the funds that can be used or allocated for that from this program?
To scrape lead paint, believe if you do qualify for the program, of course they before they approve you, they're gonna know how much funding we have.
Right.
So if they qualify and we can go ahead and do
Right.
it, yes sir, we can go ahead and do that.
Okay. So let's take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the top 10 violations that you deal with on a regular basis. And so stay tuned, everyone. If you have any questions, please email to HREBA@REBAconnect.org.
How do you spell REBA?
HREBA show at REBAconnect.org. So we're going to take a break now. We'll catch you on the other side of the break.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the HREBA Show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es del sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar premios, visita el sitio web arlingtontx.gov/Homeownership Fair.
Programming for the HREBA Show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hey, this is Leticia.
And this is Matt. Catch us on the REBA show every Tuesday from 2 to 3.
On our show, you'll be able to hear from the experts, everything about home ownership. Tune in on Tuesdays at 2 on the Blue Stream.
On FishbowlRadioNetwork.com. Jump in.
Free food, family fun, and great information await at the City of Arlington's 4th Annual Homeownership Fair, Saturday, August 10th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Receive information on credit repair, down payment assistance, home buying 101, and much more. This is an event you can't afford to miss. For more information and a chance to win prizes, go to arlingtontx.gov/homeownership fair or call 817-459-6238.
Comida gratis, diversión en familia y excelente información lo esperan en la cuarta feria de propietario en la ciudad de Arlington. El evento es el sábado 10 de agosto, 9 a.m. a 2 p.m. en el Esports Stadium, Arlington and Expo Center. Encontrarás información acerca de mejorar de crédito, asistencia del desembolso inicial y mucho más. Para más información y la oportunidad de ganar...
Programming for the REBA show is proudly underwritten in part by the Arlington Tomorrow Foundation, contributing to a thriving Arlington, and in part by the Texas Association of Realtors Housing Opportunity Foundation. Funding is also provided by generous donations from listeners like you.
Hello, you're listening to the REBA Show, Homeownership. Hear it from the experts in the Blue Stream of the Fishbowl Radio Network. My name is Leticia Gallegos, President and CEO of the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association. Co-hosting with me today is...
Sal Villalobos. Changed it up a little bit there, see?
Yeah, you're always changing it up. Okay, and our special guest today is...
Sergio Erazo.
Hey, Sergio, thank you for being here, Sergio. We've already learned a lot of information. If you're just tuning in, you've missed some great information. Don't forget to listen to our podcast. We're streaming live on Facebook. So we're going to be putting that live video up on our YouTube channel, so look out for that. And the next topic we're going to talk about that Sergio is going to share with us is the top 10 violations that they receive on a regular basis. So
Yes.
What are they, Sergio?
So the top 10 violations that we deal with on an ordinary basis is high weeds and grass that are over 12 inches in height. That's what the city considers a violation. Also, nuisance vehicles. That would be vehicles that are parked on private property that are being mainly used for storage. They may be dismantled, wrecked, flat 2 or more flat tires for over 14 days. We consider that a nuisance vehicle. Parking in the yard. That would be the front and side yard. Parking should be done on a approved all-weather surface, which is concrete or asphalt. Also, unclean premises, rubbish, this being stored outside, trash, just basically an accumulation of items being stored outside.
What about a trailer? I know some cities have ordinances where you cannot have a enclosed trailer or some kind of working accessory vehicle.
We do permit trailers that can be over 30 feet in length. The other thing is they can't block the sidewalk. And so if you have a smaller driveway that trailer may have blocked the sidewalk, then it's in violation. As far as storing stuff in the trailer, if it's there over a period of time, for example, when I do an investigation, if I see tree limbs or trash and it's being reported to me, I'll go ahead and set it out for a couple of days and see it come back. And if it's still there, then yeah, I'll go ahead and address it as unclean premises.
Okay.
But if it's something that they just put there over the weekend, then I'll do an investigation prior to me addressing that.
Okay. Awesome.
Also, dilapidated fences is considered a top 10 violation. Basically, your fence is missing pickets, broken pickets, rotten pickets, it's leaning. That's considered a violation. Some of the empty lots experience illegal dumping. A lot of tires, trash, tree limbs, brick, construction material get dumped, and vacant lots. That's another one of our top 10 violations.
Can the owner put a perimeter fence?
If it's permitted, yes. It needs to be permitted first. If it's permitted, then of course they can go ahead and do that. I've seen it in the past. We actually have a property in South Arlington that just got gated because of that. Bandit signs is a top 10 violation. Illegal signs.
What is a bandit sign? You said illegal sign, but what is that?
Bandit sign, it's a sign from, the signs that you see on the right of way, such as we buy houses, we buy cars, garage sales. Also, illegal signs could be placed from businesses, portable signs from, let's say, a business put out a sign advertising their business along the right of way. That could be considered a illegal sign as well.
So you just pick those up and you just...
actually, the ones that we know belong to a business. So we see a sign along the right of way, and we see the business right behind it. Then we go ahead and we don't pick it up. We'll leave it there because we know who it belongs to. So we'll address it with the manager, try to inform them of the ordinance, give them informational material on why it's not allowed and what kind of signs are allowed.
What about signs on the front yard? So the extended front yards, and there may not be a sidewalk.
Okay.
So would that be considered an illegal?
No, not really.
Okay.
If it's advertising a business, if you had a business come do your roof and they decide to put a sign in your front yard, that's totally fine. Obviously, it's going to get removed. People place political signs all the time.
What if I'm a tarot card reader and I put or a landscaper and I'm promoting my business on my property?
And at that point, we'll probably receive a complaint for a business out of home, and then we'll start investigating to see if it is a business that you're managing out of your home or whether it's registered with the city. There are some businesses that are allowed to be managed out of your home.
Okay.
Also, overhanging tree limbs. That's one of our top 10 violations. We want tree limbs over the street to have at least 14 feet in clearance. That way our fire trucks can get through the neighborhood and won't get put out of service if they hit a big limb.
So what happens, let's say there are, especially with the rain we had and, limbs kind of grew quick and kind of fell. So what is that complaint? So there's a complaint, then what does the city do? Does it tell the homeowner that they need to trim them?
Yeah, so normally if it's something, like you stated, it was caused by the rain and it's throughout the neighborhood and it's a big project like that, we'll give out more than the 10 days that we usually give to correct that type of violation if it's a big project like that. For example, I just did a neighborhood yesterday and gave all the homeowners that had overhanging tree limbs 30 days to go ahead and have their limbs trimmed, because I know it didn't happen overnight, but it's such a big project that it's throughout the neighborhood. It's just not one individual case. But in that case, yes, we do give out a little extended time to have the violation corrected.
Yeah, so that makes me think too. I'm sure our listeners have seen those big tree trimming trucks along the road that are cutting, making like a project. Does the city have a project like that?
We do maintain some of the right-of-way, some of the major thoroughfares. Okay. The city does maintain those, but normally on smaller streets, especially if your house backs up to a small street, you're actually responsible for maintaining your property up to the curve. So that means the curve in front of your house and the curve behind your house. Yeah, it might mean it's on the other side of your fence. So, so yeah, it's something I guess you don't really know whenever you buy a house. Hey, that's part of my maintenance that I need to keep up with. But yes, so sometimes the city goes out there and mows. It depends really on where you live and what the budget is like for that year. And going back to the tree limbs, so and if you have a sidewalk in front of your house, you have to have at least 7 feet of clearance over the sidewalk. So 7 feet over the sidewalk and 14 over the street.
Okay.
Also, the trash being put out too early. You want to put out your trash the earliest 7 p.m. on the day prior to your scheduled pickup. And this is just try to prevent animals from getting into your trash and dragging it all over the street.
What if I get home the next day and I'm really tired and I don't pick it up till the following day? Is that a violation?
If you don't pick up the trash the following day?
No, not the trash, but the cans. I have like my recycling bin and trash can.
That would be considered unclean premises.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. And so you may want to make sure you get that picked up. If you had animals, go ahead and dig through your trash. But most of the time, our contractor, Republic Services, they're pretty good at picking up the trash.
All right, that's good.
Also, commercial vehicles in residential properties, that's top 10 violation that we considered. 18-wheelers parked in driveways. Oversized vehicle. We recently changed the ordinance. It used to be 8 feet in height. I know some of the Sprinter vans, they're larger than 8 feet, taller than 8 feet. So we've changed it to 12 feet as far as the height of the vehicle. So that's a change that happened not too long ago. And
so it's more of the size of the commercial, not so much that it is a commercial
a commercial vehicle. Yeah, most of the time it's going to be a commercial vehicle based on the size.
Okay.
Yeah, based on the size. I know that there's some box trucks that don't fall into this oversized vehicle ordinance anymore. But, so it's over 12 feet now. And actually the carrying capacity, so if it is a commercial vehicle, if it exceeds the carrying capacity that the city allows, then yes, it could be considered a commercial vehicle. The other thing that recently changed was the ordinance in regards to the recycling bin. That's another violation that we see pretty often. We used to be able to store your recycling bin where you could see it from the right of way, from the street. Now it's not supposed to be visible at all during non-collection days.
Okay. All right, good information. So you're listening to the REBA show, and our guest today is Sergio Erazo. He's the Senior Code Compliance Officer for the City of Arlington, Texas. And so he has some great information that he's been sharing with us. Let's talk about garage sales.
Okay.
Who wants to have a garage sale?
I do, every week.
Every week. Well, you can't in the City of Arlington because we have some rules, right, Sergio?
Yes, we do. We actually there's actually a permitting process to have a garage sale in the city. I want to say last year is whenever we went in. Yes, in 2018 we adopted a new ordinance that required residents to have a permit in order for them to have a garage sale. You can obtain this permit up to 3 times a year for your address, and it's basically to protect the neighborhood from turning into a
flea market.
If that's what you, I'm not gonna call it that, but basically having a store out of your home, so having a market every weekend.
Right.
So it's to protect your neighborhood from doing so. But as far as the permit, there's no fee to apply for the permit. You don't have to pay a fee. You don't have to print it. You can just simply get on our website, apply for the permit. It's an easy process. It should be an easy process, and they'll email you the permit. You'll have to set up a profile through the Arlington permits in order for you to apply for that permit. But
once you do that on your app that you have?
Not on the app. You actually have to do it through the website, which is arlingtontx.gov. You should be able to go to how to why, and there's a drop-down menu to where you can go ahead and obtain a garage sale permit is what it'll say on there. It'll take you to the code compliance page. It should be a easy step-by-step process, and there's actually YouTube videos on there on how to do so.
Wow, that's great.
So they'll email you the permit, and when someone reports a garage sale to us, we're able to automatically see on our system whether or not you have a permit. So the officer may ask you for the permit, which you can show them on your phone. The other thing is that you can actually advertise your garage sale through our website because there's going to be a map on our website of all the active permits. And if you click on the address, you can actually put what kind of items you'll be selling at your garage sale. So yeah, it's
That's
pretty
a
cool.
good reference for purchasers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start trolling that website on Friday nights.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty good.
My wife's not gonna like it, but that's all right.
Yeah, so those of you that are looking to find garage sales, there you go.
I'm bringing my
You have a
trailer.
resource.
I know where to hit.
You have a resource.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great information, Sergio. Let's talk a little bit about apartments. For those of you that are leasing, there's some safety code compliances that the landlord has to comply with.
Yes.
Name a few of those to keep everybody safe.
As far as what the landlord needs to maintain, of course, they have to maintain the pools. Myself, as a district inspector, I do pool inspections annually to ensure that all the swimmers that are going to be using that pool are safe. We check for gates, make sure the gates are self-latching, self-closing, check the chemical levels as far as the chemicals that are in the pool, such as chlorine.
So these like I'm sorry. Are these like surprise inspections that you do, or
No, so we go ahead and schedule these inspections. We basically get with the management and try to work with them because they have to get inspections done, electrical inspections prior to us doing our inspection. They have to get a licensed electrician to check all the electrical components of the pool. And that's just the pool, and we do inspections, interior inspections, as far as checking the garbage disposal, make sure there's not any exposed wiring inside the unit. We check for water leaks. We check for droppings from rats or if they have insect infestation inside their unit. We check for all that kind of stuff, and it's important for the residents that are living inside the units to report it to us, because otherwise we're not going to know that these type of violations do exist unless it gets reported to us. Mm-hmm. We do annual inspections of each unit, but depending on how they score the previous year, there's a percentage of how many units the inspector's going to randomly check. I know this year we're doing all the units. I think we have over 320 apartment complex, multifamily properties that 4 inspectors are in charge of. So every 4 years, I believe they go ahead and do 100% of the unit, at least try to do 100% of the units. So, yeah, it's a pretty.
You guys are busy.
It's
really
a
busy.
pretty extensive project, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so so again, you mentioned with the app that apartment residents can use the app as well.
Yes,
and that's a good resource for them.
Yes, you can go ahead and make reports through our app. Whatever you want to report to us, even if you don't know, even if you don't know if it's a violation, if you think it's a violation, go ahead and report it. Let the officer put his eyes on it and decide whether or not there's a violation that exists.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we've had some great information today on City of Arlington code compliance. And Sergio Errazo has been our special guest. Sergio is a senior code compliance officer for the City of Arlington, has been there since 2011.
Yes.
2011. And before that, you were, before being employed by the City of Arlington, you were also in service with the Department of Homeland Security for about 3 years?
I did customer service for the Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah.
Took calls for immigration services.
Okay. Awesome. All right. So I've got a question for you, Sergio.
Yes.
What does, because here at the HREBA show, everything we talk about is about home ownership. Whether someone is looking to purchase a new home or whether they're looking to sustain the home that they currently have.
Okay.
And so that's why we invited you on the show, so you could give us more of an insight for our homeowners and for our renters as well, as to information that they would need to be safe and to be compliant with the city. Because, you know, everyone's proud of the City of Arlington,
yes.
And we want to comply with the code. But let me ask you, what does home ownership mean to you personally?
To me, home ownership means taking pride in my neighborhood. This is the neighborhood that I'm raising my family in. It's important. I come from a pretty rough background from Los Angeles, and it's not this is beautiful to me in Arlington, Texas, and I want to help the city maintain the aesthetics of what we see here today. So I think it's basically taking pride in not just your neighborhood, but the whole city. I mean, as a whole. I love riding through the city. I know me and my wife have talked about moving out of the city, and we just, every time we're like, we just want to buy another home here in Arlington just because this is home to us. We drive around other cities, and we're like, yeah, it's beautiful, but this is where we work. This is where we play. We have everything here, so we love Arlington.
Home is where the heart is, right?
Yes, then that's exactly.
Yeah, that's great. So you have gratitude, because, and we all do, because we all come from somewhere.
Yes.
And we work to better ourselves. And so, and that's what we're trying to do on this show, listener, is to give you the resources, the information that you need to make better informed decisions. So here at the REBA Show, we inform and we serve. We bring you information about homeownership, and our hope is that you will engage with us here on the REBA Show and become a loyal fan of this show. So again, being with us today is Sergio Erazo with the City of Arlington, Senior Code Compliance Officer. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, we really, really appreciate you. Thank you for taking so much time of your day to be with us today. We are the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association, a registered 501c3 nonprofit corporation. We've been streaming live on Facebook. You can see a replay of the video on the REBA Show Facebook page and also on our YouTube channel. Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter at REBA Show. This episode is available as a podcast also, and you can learn about other topics that we have planned for upcoming shows on our website, rebaconnect.org. Just click on the REBA Show. If you'd like to make a donation, we'll take it to continue funding this programming and our community outreach efforts. Visit rebaconnect.org and click on the donate button. If you have any questions for us, be sure and email rebashow@rebaconnect.org. Again, my name is Leticia Gallegos, President and CEO of the Hispanic Real Estate Brokers Association. Co-hosting with me today was
Salvador Villalobos, and I am not the CEO of this organization.
Maybe one day. Thank you for listening, everyone. Have a great afternoon.